Kia ora, hello, welcome everyone to the stream. Thank you to everyone for joining. Big hello there to FS Farmer if you're still here. Joel FS25, hello, good evening, hope you are doing well. And Davies Farming, hello, welcome in. Thank you for joining. And thank you to everyone else that has joined. 19 so far on our vertical stream. Feel free to jump into the chat and say hi. As you probably tell by the title and the thumbnail, this is a first look at the DLC, the new Sky DLC. So I've done a little bit of preparation on the amazing Witcombe Park map. I have got a few machines all set up and basically ready to take out to a field and do some testing. So basically what I've done is I've purchased them. I've got the different equipment, and I've added the tractors with sort of like the minimum horsepower needed and added about another 20 or 30 horsepower. So the tractors you're seeing here are basically the minimum horsepower. Some of them aren't fully optioned up. They might only be half optioned, but yeah, so we've tried to keep it fairly realistic. So the pack, I think the main benefit of the pack is going to be when we actually get it into the dirt, and you can see the dirt being used on it, building up. When we fold it up, the clumps of dirt falling off. So I think that'll be the main benefit of this pack. It does give us some new seeders, so we will, just basically have a look at it. So what we'll do is we'll go into the store and we'll have a look at the pack just to give you an idea, and we'll just jump down to the Sky. Under S. So yeah, so you've got a 3-meter rotor cultivator. That rotor cultivator will actually be part of the 3-meter seeder. Then you have a 4-meter rotor cultivator, which is also part of the 4-meter seeder. We have the 6-meter roto cultivator. So I'll give you an idea of the power. 120 horsepower for the rotor cultivator, 140 for the seeder, 160 for the 4-meter cultivator, and 200 horsepower for the 4-meter seeder. So it's not small equipment, it is medium to large equipment for this. We have the 6-meter roto cultivator, which is 240 horsepower. We also have the Progress TF Ango Foxtrot, which gives you extra capability for seeds or fertilizer. We have the Sonic Papa Foxtrot. So that's 6 meters. That is a planter. Now, interestingly, you cannot hook a roto cultivator onto the planter, or I couldn't get that. Hey, Argsy Gaming, welcome in. Thank you for jumping in. Just having a look at the Sky equipment. But you do have the 6-meter rotor cultivator on the 6-meter seeder. That's 260 horsepower. We also have a 6-meter seeder with the towed seeder with a tank on it. That does fertilizer and seeds, and that has a horsepower of 200. And this will direct drill. None of the others will direct drill. And then we've got the big monster 12-meter disc harrow, and it also can plant seeds, sort of like oilseed radish, grass, sunflower, canola, and some of the special crops for this map as well. We do have a Sky Agriculture Pack fertilizer spreading. That's 150 horsepower. They'll go up to 4,000 litres. And we also have the Sky Agricultural Pack Falcon T240, which is a lime or fertilizer spreader. We'll do 42 meters for fertilizer, but wouldn't be doing that for the lime. And that has a 250 horsepower rating. So, like I say, I've basically matched up tractors to the equipment based on roughly having them at about 30 to 40 horsepower above the required horsepower, just to give you an idea of what equipment you would need. Hey Queensgate, hello, welcome in. Thank you for joining. So I've got a variety of different tractors. So we'll get them all down to the field. The field's not too far away. And then we can start using them. So I've got a field that's half ploughed and still got half of it still has grass on it. So with the grass on it, with a roto cultivator, you would be able to roto cultivate. So hopefully we don't have any traffic jams along this road to upset things, if they do. So this is a special episode. I won't be saving this episode because I've had to turn off seasons so that we can plant some of the planter crops. None of them are in a planting season in October, so I have turned that off, and yeah, we will see how it goes. The direct drill, we'll see how that works, and we'll see how the roto cultivators work on the other one. Now let's get all these lined up. So it'll give you an idea of what they're like to run along the road as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me and I'll answer them as best as I can. I have, like I say, I've purchased them, so I've got an idea of what they're all about, but I haven't actually used them yet. So you're seeing me use them for the first time. I have seen Mr. Sealy P do a fantastic video about it, so I've got an idea about them. It was great that he was able to get a early preview of it. But, excuse me. But yeah, it was released at about midnight last night. I didn't stay up for it, but I did wake up at about 5 AM this morning to download it and make a start on doing the setup. So let's get this equipment lined up. So I have got some land that's ploughed. So right, so I've got a good selection of different vehicles. Duchva, Bent, Class, JCB, Voltra. I think I've even got, yep, we've got the Massey Ferguson as well. For those of you that have been part of the channel for a while, you'll know that I'm quite partial to a Massey Ferguson or a Voltra, so yeah, nearly hit the car. Never mind. So like I said, I haven't used the equipment yet, so you'll be seeing it for the first time. So we'll run them through and just see how they all work, and then I'll give you my summary of it as to whether you think it's Can I just run over the top of him? I wish Giants Physics would let you just push them out of the way. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a fantastic Wednesday. Here in New Zealand, Wednesday is fast approaching an end, but I know for a large portion of the world, Wednesday is just starting. So hope your Wednesday's been as good as mine. So I do like this 8S mod, although the rear mirror is a little wonky, but it's still a nice mod. I do like the 70th anniversary colouring. And like I say, let's get all the equipment to the field, then we can start using it. Basically, I ran out of time to get the equipment to the field, so yeah, you get to see me drive a tractor. So like I say, we won't be keeping this save. We will be going back to our regular save on this one, but yeah, just wanted to check out the new DLC. I'm thinking there might be some that I may start using on a regular basis. So we even have a Fent. Try to get a good selection of vehicles. And just to give you an idea of what sort of tractors you're going to need for this equipment, it is, like I say, sort of a medium to large equipment needed. So it is for, you know, if you're doing a start from scratch and using the smaller equipment, the Sky DLC is probably going to be a little while before you can get into it, until you can afford the medium-sized tractors. Okay, so this is from the Vulture pack. I've added a few different versions to it. This is the Unlimited, and this is set up with the front cedar fertilizer tank, and this is also the cedar with the, it's a noisy machine, this one. It's set up with the cedar and the roto cultivator on the front. So you can disconnect the roto cultivator from the cedar. So we've nearly got the equipment here. Jump into the class. So this is the fertilizer spreader. So yeah, hey guys, I don't know if YouTube's broken or not. I'm not getting any chats showing up, any new chats. So don't know if it's just quiet or if YouTube's chat system has broken. If it has, I apologize. Okay, so we've got the JCB here, and that's got the cedar on it as well. Sorry, the other one was the disc harrow, I think, and I had the cedar attachment on it, so we could do the grass or the sunflowers on it. Hey Gamer Pro, welcome in. Thank you for jumping in. At least I know my chat's working. Yeah, removing your non-working RGB strips, awesome. Used hairdryer to remove them so I don't rip the paint off the wall. Yeah, good idea. Good idea. And Garty Woodland, hello, welcome in. Thank you for joining. I don't get how people can play this. Must love working in fields. It's not bad, just like to go a little bit faster. Yeah, hey, understand completely. I know exactly where you're coming from there. I was of the same opinion until I actually started playing it, and I realized it was a great way to wind down at the end of a, stressful day. And when I went to bed after spending a session playing Farm Sim, I felt I was calm. I wasn't hyped up on adrenaline or anything like that. I've just relaxed. I've had fun. And from that point of view, it is a really awesome game. But I understand people wanting to do motor racing. I do motor racing as well. But I just find this is a great way to just chill and relax. So, yeah. In Gamer Pro, they're from Temu. Yeah, what do you expect then? Shame on Giants for not adding raindrops on windshields. Yeah, I've been down that road before, mate. There are a lot of things Giants should be ashamed of. Let's turn the traffic off so I can get to the field. And yeah, I'm playing FS25. It's raining and there's no raindrops on the windshield. Yeah, I know, mate. I know. It is frustrating, especially if you played something like Euro or American Truck Simulator, where the windscreen wipers actually wipe raindrops off the windscreen. So yeah. Yeah, no, thanks for that, Gart Woodland. Sorry, Garrett. There we go. Get it right. Yeah, I understand 100% why people would look at this game initially and go, why would you work hard all day just to come home and work hard all night, And I was of that opinion. And then it was on special, so I thought, what the heck, let's just add it to my collection, my Steam collection. And I started playing it, and then I suddenly realized, hey, this is actually chill. This is a relaxing game. I'm not going to bed stressed. I'm not going to bed hyped up on adrenaline. And it really just hooked me completely. In a lot of ways, it's very similar to American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator in the same sort of chillness. But the difference is every session is different in Farm Sim. American and Euro Truck Simulator, you pick up a load, you drive through some fantastic looking scenery. It is absolutely superb, the scenery. Except for some may say UK needs some work, but they are working on that. But every session on this is different. You're cultivating, or you're planting, or you're fertilizing, you're harvesting. Every session you're doing something different, which sort of makes it work. Well, gave you a sub to help the guys out. Hey, awesome. Garrett Woodland, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And yeah, thank you to our 2 new subscribers, one of them being Garrett. So welcome to the Kiwi clan. And yeah, you mow grass all day, so I do play Lawn Simulator. Well, that's awesome. I think that's another one of those sort of games where you just chill and relax. So yeah, I've looked at it. I just haven't purchased it yet, but yeah, I should do and just give it a go. Yeah, paint just came off anyway. Yeah, it can do, mate. I have a direct drive. Love games. It works with this. Yeah, it should work with direct drive. The force feedback is mediocre to non-existent in Farm Sim, but yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, your mum won't like that. Yeah, afraid so, mate. Hey, Cher, welcome in. Thank you for joining, and appreciate you being here. And Garrett Woodland, no problem at all. You're always welcome, and appreciate your feedback and your candor. So where was I? That's right. Getting sidetracked. I think we've got one more piece of equipment to bring over, and then we can start playing around with them. Okay, so this is another Voltra. As you can probably see, I do like Voltras. So this will be the planter. Hey, Cher, Poppy is better now. Oh, that's awesome to hear. I'm really happy for that. I know it can be stressful when one of your pets is not well. Yeah, I definitely like that knitting pattern there, Cher. It looks absolutely awesome. I showed my wife and she was just like, wow, that's going to be absolutely awesome. So yeah, no, truly appreciate your generosity there, Cher. Graphics are pretty good. They are. They've added in fog and particles, so you can get fog. And depending on the map maker, like this map is done by one of the best map makers in Farming Simulator. Well, one of the best current map makers. There have been a few good ones. OxygenDavid, he is a true artist and really does a fantastic job. So right, so let's jump in. So I think we want to go into the 3 meter one to begin with. So that's, I think that's this one here, the Fent. And we have some wheat seed in it. We can do some seeding. Okay, so just to give you an idea, okay, so we're going to drop the roto cultivator off and just run that. So if you've seen Mr. Sealy P, you know what I'm doing. So here we go. It's working as a roto cultivator and it is digging up the ground. So we'll hook it back up to the seeder. Okay, so we'll drop it down. And give you a good look at it working. Now, this is the downside with giants. It will work as a rotocultivator until it's attached to a seeder. And then, for some strange reason of physics, it will stop doing its job as a rotocultivator and will not prepare the ground. So that is a little bit frustrating. Mr. Sealy P went into it in a big way also, along with a number of other YouTubers. Someone has come up with a mod which will allow the shallow cultivating to be done, but yeah, so you have to be on something like a plowed land and it will work fine. So that's working fine. That's doing the job as a planter or a seeder, that sort of thing. So, but you have to be on ploughed or cultivated land to be able to do that. The roto harrow will not cultivate the ground while it's attached to a seeder. Like I say, someone has produced a mod that will fix that, but of course it is a script mod, and Sony and Microsoft do not allow script mods on their consoles. So it's frustrating for console players. Yeah, no one can quite figure out why Giants has the rotocultivator stop working when it's attached to a seeder. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Garrett, you can see the smoke out of the the exhaust pipe, definitely. So this is the 4 meter one, so yeah, it's fairly good size to move around. You know, I didn't have too much trouble moving it over that bridge or anything, so it's a little bit bigger. Okay, so once again, we'll do the same on this one. So that's working, and yeah, it's doing what a rotocultivator does. They're actually brilliant for grassland because they do pop up the grass and the root quite nicely. They are the type of cultivator that would be best for grasslands to convert into a field. So yeah, that's doing exactly what it should do. The goals are happy, bringing up plenty of worms and grubs. So we'll hook it back up here, and just for the sake of so that is doing the job of seeding, at least I think it is. As soon as we get there though, it stops working. But once again, we bring it over here. And we drop it down. So on this, the dirt should accumulate on it. I think Mr. Steely P had the dirty-inator. Yeah, Garrett, going to jump on my Xbox Series X and play some of the new NASCAR. You have a great time, mate. Thanks for sharing your time with us all. No worries, Garrett. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. Great to have new people around. You're always welcome here. And yeah, have fun on your NASCAR. So yeah, that's doing it. You know, it does a nice job. It's nothing really different to what we've had. But yeah, let's see if we can just make it all a bit dirtier. Okay, so you can sort of see how the dirt's built up on the rollers. So yeah, this is actually the first time I have used it. I have not used these machines before. So would this be something that I would use? I probably wouldn't use these ones too often. Not really my thing, the 3 and 4 meter seeders. They always seem so small in the game, but I tell you what, when you're standing next to one in real life, they are huge. They really are. So we'll go into here. This will be the 6 meter roto cultivator. So I actually had one of a 6 meter roto cultivator as a mod on my Kinlake gameplay, and it worked really well. So the nice animations, you know, it's what we'd come to expect from Giants. And it's doing the job you'd expect a roto cultivator to do. I like the way the roller sort of changes when you drop it down and lift it up. So then we'll try out this just for the sake of trying it out on plowed ground. Yeah, see how that roller just sort of tilts up as it hits the ground? It is quite good. The animations are good. You know, I'll give Giants credit where credit is due. You know, you watch it and you watch the roller sort of drop before it leaves the ground. Yeah, fantastic. So let's dirty up this. Everything's looking dirty. You can see how the dirt's really accumulated on it. And I think we really want to see what happens when we fold it, because they were saying that dirt clumps would come off. So let's have a look. Let's fold it. Oh, did you see the dirt come off the front? That was great. So you can see how the dirt really has accumulated on that. So they have really done well with that. So like I say, I'll give Giants credit where credit is due, and I will call out things where I think it needs to be called out. So that worked really well. So in the JCB here, so this will must be the 6-meter roto cultivator and seeder. So that does come as a whole package. So once again, I want to just double check to see what happens if, so we know it works as a roto cultivator. I'm just wanting to see what happens if it's attached to the seeder. Will it stop working as a roto cultivator? Nicely done. The way the hoses unfold is absolutely fantastic. And that is a negative. It will not work as a rotary cultivator when attached to the seeder. So that is a little bit frustrating. Yeah, don't think we have that kind of blue. You're cooked. I'll blame Timu. Grandma isn't answering the phone. Okay, so this has a packer on the front. So if that's dropped down, that's on there, and but we've just got solid fertilizer. I'm not too sure what is up there. Okay, so that's full now, and okay, so it is making hard work of it. The packer wheels do turn. But yeah, 6 kilometers, 5-6 kilometers an hour, it isn't isn't a speed demon, that's for sure. Now, once again, let's dirty this up. Let's zoom in and try and see some of that dirt falling off. Oh yeah, saw that. Oh, look at the dirt come off. Okay, that is quite awesome. So that is a 6-meter speeder with the front seed tank. Okay, and then we have here, this is the planter. Okay, so this should have fertilizer and seed. There we go, it has. This is a planter, so we have turned seasons off so that we can plant. We will need So in theory this shouldn't work because it's ploughed and not cultivated, so it hasn't got a good seed bed. But there you can see it is working perfectly alright on the seed bed. They all move independently of each other, so that is a nice thing. Hey Shane, hello, welcome in. Just having a look at the new DLC, the Sky, and just putting it through its paces. So yeah, this is quite a good little planter. But it's not direct drills, so let's let's dirty this one up. See what they look like all dirty. Yeah, that's looking good. It's folded up and watch for the dirt to fall. Yeah, not much came off of that one. I didn't see anything move from that one. Alright, so the next one is 6 meter, and this is supposed to be a direct drill. So let's have a look here. Okay, so if this is a direct drill, it should be able to go directly into the grassland here. So let's try that out. So it is a nice, you know, they've done a great job with the modeling of it, definitely. And this one isn't too hefty in the horsepower range. So this should direct drill directly into the grassland. Let's see how we go. So they're coming down. Nice good clunk as they unfold. Yeah, Joel, you know what I hate with the FS25 is when at night the sky is still light blue. Yes, yes, there is a mod for PC available that will darken the night. I was using that in my Kinlake series, but I haven't added it to this series. I wanted to see how OxygenDavid did the night. Okay, so let's turn that on. Let's lower this. And yes, it will direct drill into the grassland. This is what I would expect with a roto cultivator on the front of those other ones. It really just doesn't make sense. So that is working really well. This could become my go-to 6 meter seeder, I think. We've got a fairly sizable tank on it. Now there are some direct drill planters, but not too many. Not a lot of them around. So those of you that have been watching the series for a while will recognise our yard there. So this would work well. It makes sense on ploughed ground. It would, you know, do that as well. Yeah, PC, not console, sadly. Yeah, afraid so. So let's. Oh, now the other thing on this, we unfold the cover. It rolls like that. So you see the seed and fertilizer in there, and then do that. So that is really nice that it just doesn't, you know, suddenly open and close. You actually see it rolling. Modders have done that before, and you know, Giants has learnt from that. So let's try this out. Let's dirty it, because that is part of the whole thing with this pack, is how it does the dirty. Yeah, so that's doing a great job. as you'd expect it to do. Getting along 15 kilometers per hour, so that's not too bad. Right, let's go and fold it up. Okay, definitely saw a bit of dirt drop from the front cedar unit, so yeah, that's a nice thing. It is a nice thing. So next thing to look at, I think, will be this monster here. So this is the big disc arrow. This is the, I think it was 12 meters. And it has a cedar on it as well, which we will load up. Okay, just one moment. Be back shortly. Thanks, Kieran. Yeah. Right, so, okay, recap what I was saying. Yeah, we'll go back over what I was saying because I was about to use the big cultivator, so we'll go back over that, and we'll go back over that, over the small one as well. I've been talking to myself this whole time, and no one's heard me. Probably been a good thing for you guys. So this is a lime spreader filled with lime. So it's a fairly good spread. It's not the 42 meters, that's for sure, but it's still a reasonably good spread. Gets along quite nicely. And as I was saying when I had my microphone turned off, the animation is really great for this. The ladder unfolds, and then the cover unfolds. The cover then rolls back over, nice animation, and then the ladder folds up. So, you know, credit where credit's due. A lot of thought had gone into that one. So, well done, Giants, on that one. So let's go back to this one. So this is a 12-meter cultivator. Know how the wheels turn? It's some of the new physics on it. So this does have a seeder. It does oilseed radish, grass. That's a crop on this map. Can't pronounce it. Mustard, fetch rye, green rye, and alfalfa, and field grass. So the normal ones would be field grass and oilseed radish. So yeah, it's it's a good wide cultivator, 12 meters. I think it's about 400 horsepower required, so this tractor is about 420, I think it is. Turn on the seeder, and it's working as you'd expect it to do. It's cultivating the grass and is sowing as well. And if we bring it over here, I'm running out of so we drop that down. That is now cultivating, laying a seedbed down for on the ploughed field. But if we come over here, it suddenly switches over to stubble cultivation, which doesn't make a lot of sense. There shouldn't be stubble there, so yeah, I'm not too sure why it would do that. I can understand when I'm doing the grass, but just because this is sowed doesn't mean it should be doing the stubble cultivation look. But that's that one, and we bring it over here. You can see the wheels turning. And if we fold it up, so yeah, you've got the pipe for the cedar tank. That's nicely animated. Yeah, you get up real close, and the flexi pipe does look seamless. You've got the rail there for the pipes to sit on. It's nicely done. And if we fold it up, you should see some dirt come off. A little bit of dirt when it initiated, and then you can see the dirt drop off. So that is something that is new and is a nice touch. And then we'll go back to the little sulky spreader. So this was available in FS 22, I think it was. Not sure if it was a mod or if it was a base game, can't remember. But sulky used to be that kind of light blue. And Sky have come out of sulky or have brought sulky. I'm not too sure how that transition is, but Sky was sulky, so they've sort of done a tribute to it by sort of gluing a paintbrush onto the side of it that's showing white paint as they cover over the sulky blue. So yeah, that's quite neat. So this has a good spread. The sulky units had a good spread, 15 meters. So it doesn't take long to get across. So animation on this honestly is disappointing. You know, the ladder unfolding, yes, that's great, but the suddenness just doesn't sit right after seeing how the others unroll slowly. It's just way too quick. Even if they slowed it down a little bit, yeah, disappointing. It is a nice looking model, but disappointing. Credit where credit's due, but I will call out when I think it could be improved. So 15 meter spread, you know, it doesn't take long. In fact, it's so good the textures have trouble keeping up. So we'll try to give you an idea. So that's it there, that gives you an idea. It's quite big. I'll be honest though, I have gone off of the solid fertilizer spreaders. They are cheap to get into though. And I sort of go more with the liquid fertilizer because I feel like you use less fertilizer, because if you're going over parts that you've already fertilized, it's yeah, not the solid fertilizer just spreads it over the top of stuff that's already fertilized, whereas with the precision farming and liquid fertilizer, the jets will stop spraying where there's fertilizer, so you aren't wasting fertilizer on already fertilized ground. And Joel, you like the jockey wheels? Yep, they are good. So yeah, sorry for that, Kiram. Yeah, had my microphone turned off. Yeah, happy Canada Day for you. Awesome. And you have some of those crops on my Manitoba map. I'm encouraged the cedar does mustard. Yeah. So you know, this is using. You're seeing that what the DLCs will handle on non-standard maps. So yeah, it's It is really good. I think my pick would be... okay, well, let's try something here, just in case I got it wrong when I was playing around with it. Let's drop... Okay, looks like you have to have them unfolded before you can take them off. Okay, there we go. That's why you don't have a big seed box on the front without something on the back. So let's go back to the seeder over here. I think it was this one, yeah. And let's unfold that. Let's drop the seeder part of it off. Right, that's off. And let's try and hook it up to the planter. So I did try this before because I thought, oh, that's great. This harrow on the front of the planter would make it a direct drill, but sadly not. So we just cannot add it on. You see, it's just not showing up as a way of attaching. So you cannot put a roto cultivator on the front of the planter. So yeah, something to bear in mind. So my favorite bits of equipment are probably the 6-meter roto cultivator. This is the one, so you can get the attachment on the back. Definitely like that, and I definitely like the direct drill. I'm always a big fan of the direct drill, especially with precision farming. It does increase your benefit and your score, so having direct drill is a good thing. It's a nice looking piece of kit, 6 meters, so it's, you know, not necessarily the biggest piece of equipment in the game, but I tell you what, when you're standing next to a 6-meter cultivator at the field days, they are huge. You know, and considering that, let's take the average guy is about 1.7 meters, you know, 5'8" or something like that. You know, that is 3 and a bit grown men lying head to toe. So that is a, yeah, when you look at it like that, that is a big piece of kit. So definitely this is one of my favorites. The animation, absolutely fantastic. And direct drill is absolutely fantastic as well. So there are definitely a lot of pluses with this pack. So, would I recommend it? So for me, I had paid for the year 2 season pass, so it had come down as part of that. Has it added anything new to the game? Kind of. Having the dirt come off the equipment is a nice touch. Something that, yeah, we'll get blasé with in a few months' time. You know, first few times of playing with it, we'll be going, ooh, and and oh, look at that dirt fall off, you know? And then in a few months' time, it's just going to be, just get that equipment folded, I want to get it and washed, you know? It does help with the immersion, definitely. The wheels moving helps with the immersion as well. Is it worth the amount? It hasn't really added anything new in the gameplay. Hey, Serena Earth, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Great to have you here. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. So, yeah, like the Rito pack, it added grass fields that would wear out over time, so you would need to resow them. So that was a new game mechanic that made grass fields more realistic. This has really done nothing new except for clumps of dirt falling off and jockey wheels moving. So yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys. You'll know if you think it's worth it or not. And hey, chat, Thubo, hello, welcome in. Great to have you here. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. Just looking at the Sky DLC. There are some really great bits of equipment. I can definitely see me using some of it. But like I say, it's up to you guys if you think it's worth it. It is. Would I have purchased it? Probably. I do like the game. And new equipment is always fun to play with. It'll be interesting to see. Apparently the mechanics of the dirt and all that is released to modders so that they can include it. It's a shame that Giants haven't revisited their other equipment. It is probably just adding a few lines of code to an XML if modders are going to be able to do it. So it's a shame that they haven't revisited their old equipment, but I think we know Giants does not revisit their stuff once they've released it. It's sort of like, it's out there, it's over, we're over with it, we don't want to know about it anymore, we want to move on to the next thing that we can sell you to make money. So as you can tell, I am not a Giants fanboy. I do call out where they've done a great job, and a lot of these are really great. The fact that the power arrows will work on their own to power harrow, but as soon as you hook them up to a seeder, they mysteriously just stop doing their job and will only work on something like plowed ground. Is to me extremely disappointing. Yeah, it just, there's a lot of us YouTubers that just don't understand why that is. There is a mod that's just been released. It is on itch.io. DJ Goham did a video about it. So if you're interested, check out his video. He has a link to the itch.io page. And apparently it will be released on ModHub as well, but it will be a script mod. So a PC only. Sorry, console players. Don't blame Giants. Don't blame me. blame the manufacturer of your console for not allowing script mods. They're the ones to blame. But yeah, it is a fantastic mod pack. Not sure if it's going to be for everyone. I'll be honest, it doesn't have that wow factor that other packs have had. And like I say, dirt falling off the equipment in a few months' time, it's just going to be, we're just folding it up. We're not even watching it. We fold it up in cab, drive off, and we've got no interest in the dirt falling off, which it's human nature, isn't it? First few times we're going ooh and ah and that. So yeah. Hey, Chair, great to have you back here again. So I will probably be incorporating this into my gameplay. I'm thinking I might end up with the Sky Easy Drill as part of my contracting business. Although I have got a fairly good 6-meter cedar, so I don't really need a direct drill because the contracts are all the contracts are all on cultivated ground, so I don't need a direct drill. But it might be nice to just put it in anyway. So just go back over the whole pack again. So yeah, you've got your 3-meter cultivator, so 3 meters is pretty big. That's 2 short men laying head to toe. And then you've got the cedar with the rotocultivator as well. 140 horsepower for that. So a reasonably sized tractor, not something you're going to be using with a small tractor. Definitely not something you're using with an old small tractor. 140 horsepower for older equipment is getting into the bigger size equipment. So, and then you've got your 4-meter rotocultivator. And you've got different roller types: cage, farm flex, and a packer, as well as a tracker. So it does have that. And then you've got your 4-meter cedar with the rotocultivator sold as part of the kit. And that is 200 horsepower. So that's a reasonably sized tractor. You've got your 6-meter cultivator, 240 horsepower. And that one, you can attach a cedar unit to it as well, or a seed unit attacher, but that is for the cedar only. And when you buy the cedar, you actually buy the rotocultivator as part of it anyway. So not too sure why you would buy this with the cedar attacher when the cedar's already going to come with one. It does seem a little bit strange. I would have thought buy your cedar, and then you could connect them together. But when you look at it, the cedar 260 horsepower already comes with the rotocultivator. So yeah, it's not bad. It's not direct drill though. It is not direct drill. So not too bad. You got your seeder here. You cannot put a roto cultivator in front of it. So you would run across the ground with the roto cultivator, and then you'd follow up with this one. This is 180 horsepower. And all that. And while I remember, just to remind everyone, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, all that sort of thing. That would be great. While I think about it, big shout out for Kiram for being here. He is on his way to 1,000 subscribers. So definitely, if you haven't subscribed to him, please do. It's great to help out someone, and he is a fantastic streamer. Really laid back kind of stream. Kiram is way more talkative than me. I honestly don't know how you do it, Kiram. You're just amazing on stream. You're just chatting away, and as if you've got someone sitting there with you. And yeah, you're just an amazing guy, mate. 50 away from 1,000. So yeah, keep going, mate. You will get there. You will get there. And yeah, if anyone on the stream, in the vertical or horizontal stream, hasn't already subscribed to Kiram, please feel free to do so. You won't regret it. So just put in another couple of links. You're welcome there, Kiram. You've been a great friend of the channel, and it's been great to have you along for my journey, and I've enjoyed watching your journey as well. And I'm really looking forward to you getting that 1,000 sub. Yeah, so I've just put in Gamer Pro as well, does some videos as well, and worth checking out his channel. He's working on things, so yeah. Let's see, we'll put share in as well. We're trying to encourage you to stream. You'd do well on that, share. You really would. Would be great to have you as a fellow streamer. Hey, Thumper123, hello, good morning, welcome in. Thank you for joining. We've just been looking at the Sky DLC that Giants released today. So, yeah, it is an interesting mixed bag. Some really good animations on some of the equipment, some not so great animations on other pieces of equipment. And yeah, it's an interesting pack. Do I recommend it? If you like farming equipment and like new stuff, then yes. Is it adding anything major to the game? No, it's not. So that is my honest opinion. So I'm just grabbing another couple of links. Go to channel. And then we'll get back to having a look at the equipment. Yeah, you were checking it out earlier. Awesome. Well, thanks for jumping into the chat and saying hi. Okay, so I've just put Joel in. And we'll put Chatsubo in. He's done a few videos of building an aircraft, so yeah, worth checking out. I don't think he's done that. Don't, please, nothing happening over here. I do it because I hope that something will happen eventually, mate. It's I know it's hard. I know it's hard. But yeah, you've got some great videos up there already, mate, and definitely worth checking out. So yeah, feel free to do that. And FS Farmer, check out him. He popped into the chat earlier on, so definitely check him out. And we had Argsy jump in as well, so definitely check him out. I usually do something like this just to, spread. A lot of people help me out, so I want to tell people about other people because sometimes that's how you find people. Is being on someone's stream. It's how I've found a lot of great guys and girls on the on YouTube that have all become part of the Kiwi family as well, and yeah, I've become part of their streaming family as well. So yeah, and shares into crashing trains. Hopefully freight trains and not people trains. So that's Argsy Gaming. Definitely check out Argsy, if I get his name right. And someone that I do know does watch my streams occasionally off stream, or after I've finished, is Cajun Savage Gaming. Check out his channel. He does a little bit of farm sim, and also he's doing ATS as well. So yeah, good channel to check out as well. So big shout out to him, especially. Hopefully you're watching this one, mate, later on. And there we go. I still remember you around. Haven't seen you around for a while. So, but yeah, check out his channel. So let's get back to the Sky Pack. So just going through the shop. So I think for me, the Easy Drill by far is going to probably be my go-to 6-meter direct drill seeder. It's a nice looking model and does the job well. So I'm probably going for something like that, just for something a bit different. And then you've got your fertilizer spreaders. Like I say, I'm more liquid fertilizer now, so I don't know if I'll be using much of the solid fertilizer, but they are good. And if you have got big equipment, then the 12-meter cultivator, disc cultivator, is worth it. So, maybe we should check them out in the actual. Let's have a look at that disc cultivator, compare it to other cultivators that are around and price-wise. Okay, so that's a 12-meter one for 134 pound, euro, dollars. So you have the Kinsmac, that's a 12-meter, that's 137. So the Sky one is a little bit less expensive. So, yeah. Yeah, still busy with the project work. Sort of had that extended out. So, yeah, still busy with that. Thanks, mate. But yeah, we're doing okay. So yeah, that gives you an idea. So you've got the Kins there, or the Sky. I think I'd go with the Sky. It's a little bit cheaper. What about horsepower? 400 for the Sky. Kins, okay, that is 615. So that is huge equipment. That is a really big equipment you need for that one. So Sky's definitely the one to go for the Disc Harrow. Only 400 horsepower compared to 615. So definitely a good one to go for. So a little bit more horsepower than the Farmit, and that's a 10.5. So yeah, definitely, probably a go-to Disc Harrow for bigger equipment if you've got that. Let's go have a look at power harrows. Not a huge lot of base game stuff. 8-meter for 55 pound, euro, dollars. 350 horsepower. That's the Bednar. Sky is 6 meters, 240 for 45. So yeah, quite a bit less horsepower, but 2 meters smaller than the Bednar. Yeah. So you got the 3-meter Horse, which 115, 14,000, up against the Sky 3-meter, 120. So about the same horsepower, but you're paying an extra 4,000 pound, dollar, euros for that. Then we have the K brand. Oh, that's a 6-meter one as well. So that's slightly less money, just a little bit more horsepower. 12K to use. So yeah, I don't know. I guess only 3,000 more, but I don't know. I think I'd almost be inclined to go for the K brand. But yeah, so it is good yeah, it's one thing to see all the equipment on its own, but it's another thing to be able to compare it with other machinery that's in the game. So this is mainly base game that we have here. The Highlands fishing as well. So how does that compare? 3-meter. So you got the small Horse there, 165, against that one, which is 140, so less horsepower for the Sky. 58 against 39, so the Sky is quite a bit more. And you got the Bednar 6-meter, so this is sort of like the it's a nice looking machine, that one. So that one is 116 at 240 horsepower. The Sky is 123 at 200 horsepower. So less horsepower, but slightly more expensive. And you got your K brand there. That's 6 meters. That's a direct drill. Also 270 horsepower, so quite a bit for the horsepower. 125 against 123. So definitely wins against the K brand, but not against the Bednar. Then you've got your other one there. That would need the seed tank. 6 meter, 260 horsepower. Just looking to see what there is, but not much. You see, and I've got the Montana there, and that is 6 meters, but not direct drill. But like I say, for my contract job, that's more than adequate. So whether I would get this guy for the contract, I don't know. So that's that, and then you've got your seed tanks, you've got your K brand, your Horsch, Monaceum. They all sort of work similarly. 22, 23, 22, 19, 18. So 1,500 litres, 2,400. So definitely fit more seed into it. Then you got your fertilizer spreaders. The Amazon is probably the closest one. 42 meters, 25. So yeah, and you got your 50 meter for 25. So probably a bit of a no-brainer. The Sky's probably the one to go for. No horsepower on the Amazon, 150 for the Sky, they reckon. So yeah, I think the Sky's probably the one to go for. For the bigger equipment, there is quite a bit. Got the Profi there that does 1542. The Salford is quite a nice one. That's Plains and Prairies pack though. So yeah, that's 196. So that's quite expensive. You've got the Agri Spread, 16 and 36. So not quite as big a spread, but quite a bit cheaper. They haven't got the lime spread on this one, so yeah, honestly, I think I'd probably go for the Agri Spread rather than the Sky. But of course, you would need the Highlands Fishing Pack for that. Base game, you're probably looking at either the Strill Master or the Amazon, or just the Bredel. So yeah, that's what you're looking at in comparison. So they're not overly expensive. They're not super cheap either. Yeah, I think it's a nicely balanced pack. Is it adding enough to make it worth buying? Only you can decide. Like I say, I would probably buy it if I didn't have the season pass. But I don't feel it's added any new sort of gameplay mechanic. It's added niceties. The soil falling off and that sort of thing is fantastic, but no real new game mechanics as such. Not the Redo pack has ground degradation, grass field degradation that needs to be re-sowed in order to do it. So yeah, so that's my honest opinion of the pack. I probably will be using it for certain things. And yeah, we'll just sort of see how it all goes. And hey, Late Gaming, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Just put your link in the chat. I've already done the links for a lot of people, so you just made it. So yeah, check out Late Gaming as well. So overall, it's an interesting pack. For the last pack we're going to get before the map DLC, the main DLC of the Year 2 Season Pass. I would maybe say it's a little bit underwhelming. It's not something I've gone, wow, that is really great. It's definitely not that kind of pack. So, and like, yeah, I think possibly playability will definitely use it a lot more than, say, the Nexit or the Plains and Prairies pack. They're definitely packs that are built for maps that are way bigger than what Giants has provided. They are really mod makers maps that we use that kind of equipment. So I am finding it hard to use those, even though I have got them. But the Sky would definitely be something that you could use, especially on the smaller, tighter maps. You know, it's equipment that you could use on this English map, and English maps are renowned for narrow roads and hedge lines and all that sort of thing. So definitely not the wide open spaces. So it's definitely the kind of pack that you could use for that. That 12-meter disc harrow, I think, would be good for bigger maps as well. But I think it's something that you could maneuver around this map without too much difficulty. Just need a fairly big tractor for that. I was actually going to put this onto a class Xerion until I discovered that it needed if you wanted to seed, it needed the seed tank on the front. So you do need a fairly large tractor with a 3-point unit on the front. So yeah, and sad right now. Sorry to hear that, Late Gaming. So yeah, that is the pack basically. We've seen the good and the bad. The rotocultivator, when attached to the seeder, will not rotocultivate harvested ground or anything like that. So it does not make seeder into a direct drill seeder. So yeah, that to me just doesn't make sense either. But yeah, hey, look, guys, I think I'm going to call it a night. Hope you've enjoyed it. It has been fun to explore the equipment. We will get back to our normal routine on this map. And I will not be keeping this save, but I'll be going back to my old save. And all that, we had to do that so that I could plant something with the planter, otherwise it wasn't going to work. So I turned seasons off. So yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, Late Gaming. Me, family, yeah, we're doing okay, thanks. And yeah, I hope things will improve for you too, mate. It is difficult when you're feeling sad. So yeah, take care of yourself. Fantastic review. Thank you, Kiram. I'd probably have waffled on a bit more than I needed to, but I'm just trying to give people an honest view of the pack. And because I am not a Giants partner, I am not contract bound to be a fanboy. I will call out when they do great things. The dirt falling off the equipment is great. The covers rolling on the bigger fertilizer spreader and seeder are great. The cover movement on the small fertilizer, though, is disappointing. And it's very disappointing that arrows are not working on non-cultivated or ploughed ground when attached to a seeder, but will work fine when they're not attached to a seeder. But that has been the gameplay right from the start with those sort of equipment. So, they haven't broken something with this pack. They just haven't fixed something with this pack. But yeah, thanks to everyone for being here. Appreciate you all being here. Appreciate all the chats. Thank you to everyone and our new subscribers as well. Thank you for joining the Kiwi clan. If you haven't already, hit that like button for me. That'd be fantastic. Lets YouTube know that people are enjoying it. And feel free to share this video with anyone you think might enjoy it. But hey, until next time, which hopefully will be tomorrow night, when we're back on this map doing the grind. We've got wool being made, being shorn for us. So that is something we're looking forward to. In fact, if we jump over to our farm, we should see some wool spawning already, hopefully. Yep, so we've got wool spawning already. So no, that's great. So that's the shearers doing their thing. So we will be coming back and doing that, and doing our normal grind to earn enough money to pay our way over the winter time. So we'll be getting back into that. So until then, have a good day, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world, and whatever time you're watching this. And until next time, bye.